Hi, Juan. How are you?
Good, John. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for asking. Well, obviously, you're fighting for the title on Saturday night. Just tell everybody just what it's like for this opportunity to get a shot to go after Bellator Gold.
I mean, yeah, it's everyone's dream in MMA to fight for a world title. So obviously, it's a dream come true.
And I wanted to ask you about TJ Dillashaw. I know he's been very helpful to you in the past. Has he helped you prepare for this fight, and will he be in your corner like he has been for the past?
Well, yeah, he's my teammate, and we've known each other for quite some years now, and we've been able to help each other throughout each other's camps. So yeah, of course, he's been helping me out. There's no reason why he wouldn't be, and just been getting better together. And yes, he'll be in my corner.
And then just the final thing for me, you fought at featherweight for a big chunk of your career there. What's it like cutting down this extra 10 pounds to make the bantamweight limit?
Well, I think I fought more at my bantamweight division than I had at 145. But yeah, I mean, it's an opportunity to keep growing and setting yourself different in the sport of MMA. I fight at 145, 155, 135. It doesn't matter. I just want the best opponent out there at the time and put on a great performance for fans.
Next question goes to Gareth Davies.
Hi, Juan. Good evening. How are you from London?
What's up, brother? I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm very well. You're looking very lean and mean, I must say. And you've got that brilliant hat on as usual. Can I ask you, I get the sense with you, that at bantamweight, you're actually sharper, you're meaner, you're moodier. And yeah, exactly. And that it suits you to go down in that weight.
Yeah, I mean, I love every challenge that comes up. 135 is quite a challenge. Everything's a lot more fine print. You have to be a lot more strict, a lot more rigorous with your training. You have to be precise on your diet, and so everything is like zoned in. You're more in tune with your body. I mean, I wish everyone could experience what I'm going through, just because overall well-being, it brings spirituality, something different in you. And sometimes you're fasting and you go to these training camps fasting, and it brings your focus in, and like just everything about it is a different aura around it. And I love it. I love the challenge, and it's brought back a new fire in me.
Lovely. Wow. Inspirational words. You're a quotes machine today. The other thing about you is, and you and I have had, very long conversations. You've had a really long life journey to this point as well. You've only, in your senior fighting career, you've only lost to Patricio, and that was over 5 rounds, wasn't it? So, in a terrific fight. So, I'm trying to talk about your whole journey in life here. And I want you to answer in that way what it really means. I know it's a dream come true, but you have fought so hard in your life. And I know this from talking to you. You have fought so hard in your life to get to this point, and hold the gold.
Yeah, I mean, going through this journey in life is crazy, man. You go through the highest highs, you go through the lowest lows. You're faced with adversity, but through every low in my life, I've always had great success after, whether that's spending time in jail, in prison, and then, wondering how'd you end up here, and then going on different journey, traveling again, and I mean, shoot, not even seeing a tree in a year, and then going on these different journeys, and you're able to see different countries, and then, having great success through that, and having a family, and going through, financial struggle, and then boom, all of a sudden you have financial gain, fighting for a world title, you lose it. And then here I am again fighting for a world title, which I know in my heart this time is going to be different. The outcome's going to be different. And for me, like experiencing that and going through that type of journey, like you appreciate it more. You're able to understand what people that haven't gone through this journey or haven't had the opportunity to fight for a world title have experienced. Hence my teammate Cub Swanson. Like I can't say I don't know what it's like for him as a fighter, because I've been blessed with better opportunities in my MMA career than he has, and he's had better runs than me in MMA. He's been able to stack up huge knockouts and be on a huge fight win streak and never get that opportunity. And for me, coming off a loss, then coming off a good win, and then I'm right back in the title mix. That's true belief in an organization, and me believing in an organization that has my back. And to give me this opportunity to step in, even though I haven't fought at this weight class in a year, but they believe in me because they've shown that I've fought at different weight classes. I'm a competitor. I'm one of the best guys in their organizations that they had at any weight class I could fight, and show that. And so to me, it shows appreciation from the organization that makes me want to go out there Saturday night and do my damnedest to win and be a representative of Bellator MMA, so I could bring that back to Spain and bring it back for the Spanish people, because that's my true calling in this sport, is bringing MMA, a big organization like Bellator, into MMA, and defending a world title there is going to be priceless.
The words of a champion, and you sound completely on point. It's a pleasure to see you, even though you can't see us, and an absolute pleasure to speak to you. Thanks, Juan. Go get the job done, brother.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it.
Steve?
All right, Juan, thank you for the time as always. And your previous title opportunity has already been mentioned by several people. So I want to get your thoughts, how you compare Patrick Mix to Patricio Pitbull in their relative skill sets going into this title fight.
Yeah, I mean, with Patricio Pitbull, you have an all-around awesome MMA fighter. He's one of the best in the organization. He's not only a knockout artist, but he's a submission artist. He's great at defending takedowns. He's great at getting takedowns. He's great at establishing range and being a counter attacker and being first on the attack and being an aggressive attacker. And so you have all these highlight reels of Patricio that you could see in a fighter, and it makes it for a lot dangerous of a fight. A guy like Patrick Mix, whose confidence level is at all-time high right now. He's believes in himself more than he could ever right now. He's, beat guys like Ben Haas, guys like the guy in Japan. I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank. Mizugaki. I'm sorry, I forgot his name, but he's beaten some good guys starting off young in his MMA career. And for a guy like that to be fighting and seeing his specialty, but not really seeing too much development on his feet and the nervousness he has on his feet, or if he could go the 5 rounds of a guy constantly in your face, I see some holes there that I'm hopefully able to exploit come that night. And I see him very good at one thing, and that's jiu-jitsu. And, that's going to be his strength. And but me, I've grew up wrestling my whole life. I'm a scrambler wrestler. I get in those type of mixes all the time. And I'm going to exploit some of his weaknesses he has come Saturday night.
Yeah, I think Yuki Matoya was the fighter you were thinking of.
Yes, I'm sorry. Thank you.
No, that's no
Yuki.
problem. But as far as you talked about aggression and how Patricio is great at establishing that range and being the first to strike, do you feel like that in itself, that loss was a teaching experience that now in this fight with Mix, you're going to be the first to draw the trigger and fire?
Absolutely. I mean, coming off my first loss that I've ever had in my career, it made me realize that I was fighting to not lose. I was fighting to just trying to secure an undefeated record, which is insane. It gave me a lackluster in my performance. And going into that Pitbull fight, it was the same thing. I was fighting to not lose and trying to just hurry up and end the fight, and that's where I messed up in the fight. That's where where my lackluster of performance came from, was like fighting to not lose. Instead, this fight, I've already experienced that, and I've been kicking myself in the ass for that, for not going out there and performing. And now, after a loss, I've grown from it. I've adapted to it. I've understand it, and I understand why I lost. And so I'm gonna do everything in my ability just to go out there and perform. I don't care about the win or loss. I'd love to have the world title. There's a bunch of great prizes that come after. But if I don't perform, then I'm going to lose. I already know that. So if I go out there and I perform and do everything in my ability to perform, I know that the win and loss is going to take care of itself.
All right. Well, we look forward to a great performance Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next question goes to Connor Northrup.
Hey, Juan, how you doing today?
Good, Connor. How are you doing?
Good, thanks for asking.
Nice.
One thing I just want to talk to you about too is I know you were a part of the Kingdom show, and that show's obviously kind of been back on Netflix too. I mean, what's it been like kind of seeing the resurgence of that during this time where, just days away from the title?
Oh, we put a lot of hard work, and as we like Joe Stevenson and I to make the show as authentic as possible, where people could truly relate to it. Trying to give our life stories and being able to see our life stories play out in some of the scenes and Kingdom was a blessing. And then to be part of it, and I fight out of Navy Street to this day. That's why you'll hear them say fighting out of Navy Street, Venice Beach, California. A crazy story was after the first season, I met the writer of the show. His name's Byron Belasco. Joe Stevenson introduced me to him. He's like, hey, this is my fighter, da-da-da. He's like, oh, I know you from somewhere. And I was like, oh, I don't think we have ever met. He's like, no, but I know you. And then the next day he shows me a video, and it was my first fight. He's like, dude, this was the first MMA fight I've ever been to. And I watched your first fight. And he's like, it gave me so much inspiration on what I want a fight scene to look like, because I got dropped in the first 30 seconds. He was sitting in between my family. They're just going crazy because they're fight fanatics and are just combat fanatics in general, and he got the whole every different type of feeling that he wanted to feel from a crowd, from a fight, and he was like, dude, it was awesome. And I was like, well, thanks, man, I appreciate it. And then Joe Stevenson, man of great ideas, he said, hey, I have an idea, like, why doesn't, if it's okay with you, let Juan fight out of Navy Street the rest of his career? He's like, dude, would you do that? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. I don't mind fighting out of Navy Street. I would love to. And then the next season and the season after, he let me actually wrote me a character in the show. And when Joe Stevenson was fighting on The Ultimate Fighter, I stepped in for the MMA consultant on the show. So it was an awesome experience. And then I was driving between that and The Ultimate Fighter and back and forth. And so dealing with the in-betweens, and it was just an awesome opportunity to have, and I was truly blessed to go through that experience.
Well, hopefully they bring that show back, and then you can have the title on the show.
Absolutely. I mean, that's why, like, at the end, they like tell Ryan, like, they're like, we're either going to go to Bellator or UFC, because I was on that fence. And so they wanted to bring that reality into the show and talk more about the UFC and Bellator as a guy that I fought for King of the Cage, and the promotion was called King Beast. And you have these champions coming up out of King Beast that made their claim in the local scene. And now we're ready to step up to, a worldwide production like Bellator or UFC, and obviously I went the Bellator route, so it was cool to see that transpire and happen.
Thanks, Juan.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, next question, Harry Mack.
Hey, Juan, thank you for your time.
Oh yeah, thanks, Harry.
Absolutely. So you haven't been able to fight since January, obviously because of circumstances out of your control. So other than training, how have you been staying busy?
Training. After training, we go back to more training. No, just hanging out with the family. I was actually getting ready for a bow hunt. It would have been September 3rd to the 18th, but the Apache Reservation and the Apache tribals of San Carlos had to shut down their hunting season because of the COVID situation. So I was getting ready, practicing a lot with TJ in our backyard, like shooting some 3D elk with our bows, and just spending family time, working out with Josh Rosen, putting on muscle, and then taking it back down and taking it, trying to bring it back into 135. So got to experience some different training partners, which was nice. And, experience training with Brian Ortega, got my jiu-jitsu game a lot more stronger, as well as Felipe Del Monica. So it's been an awesome journey.
Awesome. So other than your fight with Pitbull, this is actually the only time in your pro career that you've been the betting underdog going into a fight. So is that something that you're aware of, or you put any stock into going into a fight?
Now that's news to me. So if you're out there, you throw some good money on me, and you're gonna come out like a bandit. So.
There you go. And I guess just my last question, just to follow up on Connor's last question there a little bit, where you were talking about Kingdom and kind of making that decision between Bellator and the UFC. What was it that really made you choose Bellator or drew you towards Bellator?
You know what? It was just like, I believe at the time Bellator was a rising promotion, with Scott Coker and wanting to get the best talent out there. And, it's just another step in the journey. Your MMA career, you could prolong it as long as the athlete wants. And so with Bellator, I seen it as the next step for me. I wanted to be a champion within Bellator. I wanted to represent Bellator and the things they had going. They had a lot of hype behind them when I was coming out as a free agent. And UFC's always going to be there, and, you're experiencing it with Michael Chandler right now. Like, he has opportunity, and Bellator's given me a lot of opportunity, and they gave him a lot of opportunity. They gave him a platform. Same thing with Eddie Alvarez. They gave him a platform. And so just like they use me as a platform and use me as a character for their promotion, you got to take the good with Bellator. And use the Bellator platform and try to become a household name.
Kevin?
Hey, Juan, coming into this fight, the last time you fought in the bantamweight division was almost a year ago. When Bellator officially came back, they came back with Bandejas versus Perez. Bandejas, who you beat. Perez winning the fight, he's lurking in the corner. Everyone thought, he might be next for the title picture. Do you have any words or are you looking out for Sergio Perez? Do you know he's next if you win the title?
Well, I think Scott Coker said if Horiguchi is ready to go, he's going to obviously have the first rights to a title fight, which is respectable and honorable for whoever wins the title to take, because he relinquished it. He didn't hold up the division. So if Horiguchi's ready, he stakes claim to the first and foremost title fight. But if he's not, Sergio Perez was originally who I wanted to fight for this. I thought was going to be a bigger draw for this fight, for this championship. But, I'm not a promoter. I'm not a matchmaker. And so obviously they went with Patchy Mix and myself, because it could have been Patchy Mix and Sergio Perez as well. And me left to fight Bandejas again or someone else, because they've been signing a lot of the 135ers. So, I do see him as the next title fight contention if Horiguchi is not ready.
Another question is, going into this fight, are you looking into stopping Patchy Mix's ground game and keep the fight standing, or do you welcome him to the ground?
At this time right now, I'm a true rounded MMA fighter, and I'll go wherever this fight takes me, whether it be on the ground, whether it be standing. That's the difference about me as a fighter. I'm well-rounded. I'm able to, as you can see when I fought Pitbull, I'm able to stand and bang and trade. I'm able to, as you've seen me fight Corrales, outpoint someone. Or, when I fought who was the guy? William Joplin, take it to the ground and do ground and pound. Like, I'm a well-rounded MMA fighter. I'm not scared of any of my talents that I have, and I'm 100% ready for wherever this fight goes.
All right, our last question goes to Rick Sanchez. Your line is live.
Hello.
What's up?
Question in Spanish. Tú dijiste una vez, tú que traí la peleas de artes marciales allá en España. ¿Cómo sientes para las personas ahí en España que tú eres la campeón para la gente? Ahí.
Lo siento, mi español es muy mal, and I need to practice it more. So I need.
Okay, I'll say in English.
Okay.
You said to bring the fights in Spain. How does it feel like for people in Spain to look at you as a role model, as the people's champion over there?
Yeah, I've been going out there and been practicing my Spanish, and it takes me a while to adapt to it, just like fighting. And so going out there, representing Bellator and running clinics and seminars for them to understand MMA has been a journey and has been awesome. I've been welcomed out there as a brother in Spain, and it's awesome. I know if I win this title, when I win this title, and I'm going to bring it to Spain, and I'm going to defend it. And that's what we're looking forward to do, and give them opportunity, give them praise, and have the next up-and-comers in Spain to show that the Spanish people are fighters. The Spanish people are conquistadors still at heart, and they just need opportunity. They need the chance to prove that, just like the Irish got to prove their stake. And as soon as I bring this title home and bring it to Spain and bring a Bellator event out there, people are going to see why the Spanish are conquistadors, why they're the real fighters. And it's going to come very soon. This fight's more than me. It's for the Spanish people.
All right. Thank you very much, Juan. We'll be joined shortly.